Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the new Maruti Suzuki Baleno, but yes, the walk is long because I keep showing you guys different kinds of perfumes from Involve Your Senses and they have a crazy variety as well. But we Indians love freshness and the one I'm showing you today brings instant freshness in your car. This is the Involve Your Senses Citron Gel, which is a blend of 3 fragrances, lemon, lime and orange, and instantly brings freshness inside your car. It's just amazing. Wow. Anyways, this is the new Maruti Suzuki Baleno, which has a lot of changes. First and foremost, we are going to be opening the engine bay of this vehicle, and yeah, a little bit of a struggle, but there it is. Okay, there's so much space in the engine bay now. I can plonk in a bigger engine for sure. There's insulation right there and you can hear the motor a bit, but that's the sound of refinement right there. That's very smooth actually. Oh my god, the hood already closed. That was again very smooth. And you know what, from the front, the design might remind you of certain Kia models, but it gets this clamshell bonnet and it is based on the same hardtech platform. However, the body shell seems to be new. We'll come to that in a bit. You can see the design is new. It gets this chrome line here. This is the front parking camera, or the 360-degree parking camera, of course. The grille is also new here and the lights are new as well. It's not all LED here. Projector setup, I think that is for the high beam. Now this is actually for the indicator, which happens to be a bulb, and these are for the DRL. I mean, this is on high beam right now. Okay, these are for the DRL. You can see there are 3 elements for the DRL, which is going to become common for all Nexa models in the future. It gets LED fog lights as well, and there is a chrome here. Actually, the design is more of an evolution here because it's, I mean, you can identify it as a Baleno. However, there are changes which have been made. So while the platform remains the same, Maruti says that the body shell is all new and it weighs around 70 kgs more than before, making it the same weight as the Tata Ultros. The reason is for safety reasons. They have put high tensile steel and ultra high tensile steel to make the car more safe. Anyways, the wheels have been revised. New alloy wheel design on this car. 195/55/16. Inside you can see it gets a new disc as well. Yeah, new disc brakes, 14-inch in size. Meanwhile, there's a camera here as well because it gets a 360-degree parking camera, and here you can see the indicator. Now in terms of length, it's actually reduced by 5 mm. Meanwhile, the height has reduced by 10 mm. That's the reason the boot capacity is actually decreased a bit. They've actually made the car more aerodynamic, so the roofline is a bit sloping. I think that's the reason why the height is reduced, and it's 6% more aerodynamic than before for fuel efficiency, of course. You see there's this chrome line which runs across, chrome on the door handles, there's a request sensor here, and overall design and everything looks the same as before. Like, I really can't differentiate it much from the earlier model. There's an antenna right there, there's a spoiler with a high mounted stop lamp, of course, and from the rear it will remind you of the Honda WRV. Yeah, that's right, Honda WRV. Faisal Khan's fingers of truth. We'll try and find the exhaust. I think it's going to be on the left side. Let's see. Okay, it's not here for sure. It's on the right side then. There it is, the exhaust of the car. So hidden exhaust. You get rear parking sensors everywhere, and you get a rear parking camera which is placed in the same place as before, and there's this chrome here as well. It says Baleno right there. Let's open the boot. Now, like I was telling you, the boot is reduced in terms of size. So it's 21 liters smaller now, which isn't much as such, but due to the sloping roofline, that has happened. You can see the loading lip is obnoxiously high, but the boot is decent in terms of carrying capacity, but this thing actually protrudes inside. Anyways, the spare wheel is obviously not an alloy. It's a smaller size tire, 185/65/15. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Anyways, let's shut this and look again, okay? That was smooth. You get a rear wiper, washer, defogger, whatever. Now, this is LED, indicator is not LED, and this is that typical Baleno bindi, those dots you can see on the inside. And okay, the front elements have been carried to the rear as well. You can see that those 3 LED DRL type of lights are at the rear as well. Meanwhile, this is the reflector, of course, and yeah, it looks the same as before in terms of overall profile. Anyways, there's a request sensor here as well, which is a nice touch, and indicator on the mirror. Like I was telling you, you can see the front indicator functioning right now, but come on, we could have got all LED lights in this car. Now the good thing about the Baleno is there is good amount of space on offer. So door pockets are decent sized, and they've given this piano black finishing for the premium appeal, which looks nice. And then there's this leather as well. Again, the color coordination is actually very nicely done here. But the problem is the center passenger does not get a head, unfortunately. And in spite of the fact that they did not give a center headrest, they did not even bother to give a center armrest. Even the Renault Kwid gets that now. Okay, and these are split folding seats. So 60-40 is how they fold. It's so light, the seat. Everything seems so light here. Anyways, you can see there is really good amount of knee room and legroom. Like, that is amazing. Under-thigh support is okay, not that great, but headroom is a bit of an issue. Okay, I don't have much headroom right now. There is a handle to hold on to, but there is no hook. The hook is on this side, of course, and you get to adjustable headrest here. Come on, they should have given a center headrest as well. Meanwhile, here you obviously get rear AC vents, and there's a USB Type-C along with a regular USB charging socket here. I don't know if you can see it because as soon as I leave it, it shuts. There's some storage space here as well. No magazine holder here, but there is a magazine holder on the left side, of course. I'm really impressed by the amount of space on offer, but I'm depressed, I don't know if that's the right word, with the lack of headroom. Anyways, the dashboard is kind of new, and the steering wheel comes from the Swift, and the infotainment system comes from the Nexon. Okay, jokes aside, but it looks nice, and this thing also slides, and everything in this car is so light now that you don't need to take in much effort to move stuff. Now, Maruti Suzuki has also given it a slew of safety features. Like you can see, it says SRS airbag right there. In fact, it says airbag here as well. And that's the reason. The seats are different now. I mean, more or less the same, but the side bolstering has improved. So yeah, pretty comfortable and nice seats in this car. Really impressed by that as well. And doors shut the same way as before, so it doesn't feel like thud. It's like very soft, and then you can see a lot of design elements here and there. Now, I'm not showing you the key of the car. So this is the key of the Baleno, which is the same as the other Maruti cars. It says Suzuki here, finished in black. I think some of the cars have it finished in blue. This to unlock the car, this to lock the car, and that's about it. Nothing more. However, this car has got some new features which are segment first. No other car has it in the segment, which we'll talk about in a bit. You can see there's a good amount of storage space here. Switch gear seems the same as the older cars from Maruti Suzuki. This to unlock the car, this to lock the car, this for child lock, and this is obviously to adjust the outer rear view mirrors, and you can press a button to actually close the mirrors electrically. Now, there are plenty of buttons here. First and foremost, this is the engine start button. This is for traction control. This is for the 360-degree parking camera. This is for the headlight leveler, and this, of course, is for the stop start system. These are the controls for the heads-up display. This is for the heads-up display. This is for the brightness, and this is to increase or decrease the height of the heads-up display for better viewing according to your height, of course. There's a proper dead pedal there. There's some storage space here which is kind of hidden, and this is to open the hood. This is to open the fuel lid of the vehicle. Meanwhile, seats are really very nice, very comfortable. You can see side bolstering is also fantastically done, and of course it gets the height adjust function too, which I've put at the lowest position at the moment. Okay, I'm really impressed by the fact that Maruti has put features which no one has seen in the segment before, so that's kind of revolutionary for sure. Let's shut the door. Listen to this. Soft. Okay, piano black finishing here. The gloss black treatment is nice. Steering wheel kind of comes from the Swift, so it gets a flat bottom treatment as well, and the design element is also pretty nice. Okay, the glove box is small. It doesn't get the cooling function either, and I'm sure this is going to rattle after some time. My experience with all other cars from the same brand, and lot of hard plastic. So plastic quality remains more or less the same, like plenty of hard plastics. Auto dimming inside rear view mirror. No LED for the light, which is kind of disappointing, and there's a light in the center, and obviously lower variants will not get a light ahead. Meanwhile, there is a mirror and a light. Now, this is very premium because Maruti has also offered this for the driver, and I'm really impressed by this, to be honest. Meanwhile, like I was telling you, this is sliding. Below the front center armrest, there's storage space, but it's like a very small unit, and then below the handbrake, probably you can keep stuff as well. Anyways, there's this nice chrome surround around the gear lever. There are a couple of cup holders right there, which is the ideal spot for keeping this amazing Citroen car perfume, the involved Citroen car perfume. So the thing is, it does not leak, and first and foremost, with one hand I might struggle, but I'll still show you how do you open this, and this is how it's done. Yeah, just imagine me doing this with one hand. That's so amazing. So we're just going to remove this, which is, I've not opened it yet, and now I have. So it's a gel which does not leak at all. That's so amazing. And then you can just like shut it. It's super easy to regulate. I can just switch it like this. That's how easy it is to regulate, and you put it in any car, it's going to make the car smell like new, just like this new Baleno here properly slots into position. Now that is an ergonomic, I would say, success or whatever, but they have made the perfume size exactly according to the cup holders, which is amazing. Now, there is no wireless charging pad in this car, which is kind of disappointing because the i20 obviously gets a wireless charging pad. It also gets an all-digital instrument cluster. It also gets a sunroof. Maruti Suzuki does not offer sunroof in any of their cars. So that's kind of disappointing. Now, why do I have this phone with me? Because this car also gets something known as Suzuki Connect, which has basically it's connected car tech, and it will not work right now. Okay, so connected car tech has around 40 features. Why is it taking? Okay, don't talk to me right now. I'm not talking to you. She randomly starts talking to me. So this is basically the app, and it shows you like 40 features, including geofencing and what is the range, and you can unlock the car and stuff like that, and you can track it. Okay, listen, lady, I will talk to you. Give me a minute. Okay, let's just get out of here. Okay, and here is a 12-volt charging socket. There's a USB charging socket here, so the only type C is actually at the rear, and you've got beautiful air conditioning controls, like really nice switches as well. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Air conditioning is a chiller without a doubt. It's a climate control unit. Let me just shut it off at the moment. Why do you not shut off? Why just shut off? Okay, yeah, it's kind of shut off, I believe now. These are the controls for picking up a phone, declining a phone call, and this is for voice commands. So we're just going to use voice commands at the moment, which means I press this button. Driving range.
Taking you to fuel economy screen.
And there you go. It's showing me what is the fuel range and what is the average. 8.5 kilometers per liter. Anyways, let's come out of that. Now, there are some revolutionary features inside this car. First and foremost, this is a heads-up display button. So I press this button and there comes out the heads-up display. Yeah. That is smooth. Okay, it's very similar to what I've seen in Mini Cooper cars, and then it shows you a lot of information. I'm not too sure if you guys can see it right now, but yeah, it's showing me the speedometer along with the tachometer, and then I can go through various data here. So when I press the HUD button, that is just the speedometer. It's showing me the clock, it's showing me what's the fuel consumption like, and then obviously the tachometer. So I think this happens to be the very best display for this heads-up display, and then obviously I can adjust the brightness accordingly, and I can also decide how I want the position to be. So I can move it to almost 10 positions or so, no, 12 positions. That's kind of nice. So you can always get the best position for yourself. That is again, oh wait, it has more than 12 positions. Oh, it goes 12 positions up and 12 positions down. I don't know why someone would want it down unless and until they're sitting on the roof of the car. But yeah, that's kind of cool. A very unseen feature in this segment. And then there's another amazing feature which happens to be this, which I'm going to show you right away. It happens to be the 360-degree parking camera. Now, whenever I turn it on, it's going to do a full 360-degree rotation. Although the color of my car is blue, you're showing me a white car. My car is not yet in Ola or Uber, so still I don't understand that. And you can see like a different kind of views. So this is one of the views, and then I can see another type of view. And this is very similar to what I've seen in Lexus cars. So when you get into the 360-degree view, this is how it shows. And the thing is, you can't move your finger and just go into whatever direction you want to see, like in premium cars, because this is like a, you have to play this and then it will play all over again. Camera is actually quite nice and something which you have never seen in this segment. We're just going to get into reverse right now. Now this is the reverse parking camera with the 360-degree camera right here, and they have got multiple views for the camera as well, which is kind of a nice thing. Here I can see what's there on the left side. I can't see on the right side because they have given something known as a window. Pop your head out and see what is there on the right side if anything is blocking. Jokes aside, camera quality is actually quite impressive, so I'm happy with that as well. And now this is a 9-inch screen, the infotainment screen, which is a Smart Play Pro Plus, something of that sort, which they've named it. Now here you can just browse through stuff, which is kind of easy to do, and then you can get into dashboard. I mean, the overall quality of this screen is actually nice, and it's very legible as well. It gets Apple CarPlay, Android Auto connectivity, wireless of course, and reverse parking camera. It's actually a nice unit, and they have Alchemy sound system as well. Let's listen to an audio right away. Audio quality is actually decent. These are actually the controls for the audio system. You can mute a call there, and this is for the cruise control. Now the good thing is that the steering wheel gets adjustment both for reach as well as rake. So yeah, that's also quite a nice feature. And although it doesn't get, oh my god, I need to put this back into place. Kind of gets stuck. Yeah, now we are back into place. So basically, I was telling you, this car has got automatic headlights, and this is obviously for the front fogs. It doesn't get automatic wipers, but let's use the wipers right away. You can see, okay, 4-5 sprays on offer right there. And let's quickly use the rear wiper as well, which means that I have to kind of figure that out. How does that work? And there, the rear wiper, okay, it brings in a lot of spray. It's kind of giving the car a complete bath, so I have to do a delayed wiper swipe myself personally. Anyways, okay, this instrument cluster is kind of a basic looking unit. I expected better from Maruti Suzuki, considering rivals are offering all digital units. Now the thing is, there's a multi-information display in the center, which is very nice. If I open the door, it shows me exactly which door is open. The graphics for the multi-information display is amazing to say the least, but you have got an analog, tachometer, analog speedometer, analog fuel meter, temperature meter, and telltale lights almost everywhere. But you have to use these levers, which is kind of outdated in 2022, to actually browse through this. So it's telling me what is the fuel efficiency which I'm getting with this car, 8.4 kilometers per liter, the range of course, and then I press it once again, then it kind of shows me another sort of view for the same, and then it shows me driving time. It also shows me how much fuel I've saved and how much time the car is idle because of the stop start system, and it turned itself off. 173 ml. Wow, Greta Thunberg would be so happy with me. And this is, I think, a clock, and then this is motion, which actually tells me if there's someone around for the 360-degree parking camera or something of that. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. However, this is the power and torque meter, which shows me how much power and torque I'm consuming in a graphical format. And then it also shows me how much accelerator and brake I have been applying, like a graph. So they have made a lot of statistics out of this, kind of unnecessary but still cool enough. The horn is okay, it's not that great, and they've got this leather wrap for the steering wheel as well. So as I see it, the new features are definitely welcome inside this car because it gives it the premium appeal of course. And you know what, this thing is so short now, it doesn't cover anything at all, so it's kind of pointless that it even opens. Meanwhile, you can see a lot of hard plastic, so they could have worked a bit on the quality. The quality remains more or less the same as before, so no update on that front. Now another cool feature is that it shows me information there. So if I start driving the car without a seatbelt, which you should never do, it actually gives me a very nice graphical representation of the same. So there you just see this, okay? Yeah, it's saying fasten seatbelt, and how coolly is that done? Like, that was so nicely done. Idling, stop, unavailable. Why? What happened to you? Okay, look at that. Okay, see the way the graphic actually comes showing that how do you actually put a seatbelt. That's like really crazy attention to detail. I really appreciate that, Maruti. You've done a fantastic job there. Let's do one thing. Let's turn off the car, and then it shows me all the information here, but driving time, driving range and stuff, and then it's telling me motion, which I don't understand what it is. Now it shows everything here, which is kind of cool, the way the multi-information display is done for the warning. And now I'm just going to lock the car and show you how it sounds. It has this beep 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 sound. So here we go, locking the car. Yeah, and the outside rear view mirrors also close. That tick tick sound is actually something. Okay, 2 for unlocking and 1 for locking. But when you unlock the car, the mirrors are not coming out. I think when you turn on the car, that's when that's going to happen. Anyways, let's start driving right away. Alright, we're all set to go, which means turning on the car. And when you turn on the car now, it shows me here that okay, I need to press the brake as well as the clutch, and here it shows the Suzuki logo. Heads up display says starting, and then it actually says hello as well. And if any of the door is open, it actually shows me in the heads up display. That's also kind of cool. Meanwhile, it also gets OTA updates for the connected car features. And
Welcome to a Sensora drive.
welcome to a what drive? Anyway, she welcomes with this whole 360-degree view rotation, and it also gets ISOFIX child seat mounts at the rear. We're going to turn off the air conditioning of the car. We're going to turn off the traction control of the car. And yeah, one second. Traction control, why is it not turning off? What's wrong with your traction control? Okay, traction control button has failed apparently. Anyways, we're going to start this driving experience by driving on this really bad patch of roads to test the new suspension, which gets a new torsion beam. Well, I can tell you that the suspension is much improved from before, but obviously it is not the best because yeah, you can still feel a lot inside. Actually, the insulation is not that great. Suspension is well tuned. Obviously it's on the softer side, but it's made for better ride quality, and on such roads it's moving a bit because of the lightweight of the car. However, it does a great job of absorbing almost everything in its stride. At least at low speeds it does a great job. But the only problem here is that the suspension gets very noisy, so you can hear a lot of the suspension as such. But yes, the Baleno has always been a comfortable car, and with the new suspension it's become even better. And talking about the suspension, which is new, the brakes are also new on this car, and the engine, which they claim to be new, is not really new. It's the same old K12N unit. I don't know if that was the same nomenclature before, but you know what has changed? They've actually removed the smart hybrid system. The SHVS is gone, and that's how they have actually saved money and put that money into the heads-up display probably, and also into the 360-degree camera. Oh my god, kidnap van is coming from the front. So we're just going to stop on the side, try to turn off traction control, and then we're going to launch this. Now I was going to say beast, but it's not a beast. It's just a small little hatchback with plenty of kit now, but still no sunroof. I always miss that. Okay, so now we're going to turn off traction control, which means keeping the traction control button pressed, and hopefully it will turn off. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, now it does. You have to hold it for like 5 seconds. That's crazy. And here we are going to get into this mode, which will show me how much power and torque is being consumed in real time. Not really in real time, but it just shows me a graph there. Anyways, I put the heads-up display down because you can only adjust the position and the brightness when the car is halted. Basically, the handbrake should be up. Air conditioning has to be off, into first gear, and now handbrake up. I'll tell you why. Revving the motor, hazard light off, and off we go. First gear 51. Second gear 92. So for a 1.2 liter engine, this car is really very tall gear. That's the reason it does these crazy speeds in every gear. In fact, it will do a top speed of almost 170 kilometers per hour, which is also very respectable. Taking a quick overtake can be a bit of a challenge because the mid-range is very flat here. So the low end is actually nice. It's a peppy engine, but the mid-range is kind of flat, and then around 5000 RPM, it definitely wakes up and then pulls really strongly to a very short red line of 6200 RPM. Now this is the K12N engine. This was also available earlier, but with SHVS, which is the smart hybrid system, which they have removed right now. Now basically, fuel efficiency has actually gone down by 1.5 kilometers per liter if you compare it with that particular engine with the smart hybrid. But if you compare it with, say, the 83 horsepower engine, then obviously fuel efficiency is improved. Now this is a 1.2 liter 4-cylinder motor. It gets dual VVT as well as a dual jet technology, which is basically 2 injectors per cylinder, helping in better combustion because of better air fuel mixture as well. And the result is that it's more efficient overall when you compare to the 83 horsepower engine, which was there earlier. 90 horsepower comes in at 6000 RPM, and the torque output of 113 Newton meters comes in at 4400 RPM. The result is performance is actually quite nice. Refinement levels are absolutely fantastic. Lower down the rev range, but once you push it beyond, say, 4,500 RPM, it becomes kind of vocal. Not really in a very sporty way. So it doesn't have the typical character of, say, a Maruti Suzuki small capacity petrol engine. Although I would say the one with 83 horsepower without the dual jet was more characterful, more soulful, and it was more high and fast revving. This one doesn't rev as fast, so it's not as exciting as such. Okay, the clutch is new here, and let me tell you, the clutch is light, very easy to modulate, and the gearbox is also very smooth shifting. Like, you always slot into the right gear all the time, and I think it takes around roughly 12.5 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. It's kind of respectable because the additional weight of the car has definitely slowed it down. Steering wheel feels nice. Okay, it's not very rich in terms of feel or feedback, but doesn't feel nervous either, and high-speed ride is fine. Only thing is it gets a little bouncy because of the soft suspension. You can feel the bounciness. We're bouncing all over the place actually, but high speed stability is shockingly very good. You know, it doesn't waver at higher speeds, although it just gets very noisy. Wind noise can be heard in plenty inside this car. And then body roll is decent, but there is like quite a lot of body roll, but it's like well contained for the most part. This isn't a car you would push it hard and fast. If you want to push a Maruti Suzuki car hard and fast, you should probably get a Swift. The Swift has that sportiness to it, and it just handles better, has a better steering feel as well. Obviously not as good as the older generations of the Swift, because Maruti Suzuki is going towards comfort now. Now you can feel that bounciness is like very uncomfortable at most speeds, especially on bad roads. Like, our roads are mostly bad, and you can feel that. Only thing, it absorbs everything in its ride, but it gets a little bouncy. It doesn't give you suspension shocks or jolts inside, which is a good thing. I love using this gearbox. It's very smooth. It's very nice in terms of shifts. So that's again a pleasure. Now, Maruti claims the fuel efficiency will be almost close to 23 kilometers per liter, which is absolutely crazy for a petrol engine car. And in the real world, you should get somewhere around 14 to 17 kilometers per liter, which is also very respectable. Ground clearance is a non-issue here. And here in second gear, when I try to pick it up, it's kind of smooth. It's very smooth, this engine, and very refined as well. And then pushing around corners, it might not be the most fun thing because it tends to leave its line, and there's understeer which creeps in when you go near the limit. 6200 RPM red line is kind of on the shorter side, not like kind of, it's very on the shorter side. The Maruti engines, Japanese ones, need to rev at least till 7000 RPM. Anyways, here we are. I'm going to apply full brakes so you can see the braking performance. Yeah, it's not that great. All right, into first gear, revving the motor. Listen to this, guys, okay? Quite a lot of wheel spin on offer. Now, like I was telling you, brakes are good, but the tires are kind of on the crappy side. They don't offer much grip, and that's the reason why I'm braking got nervous, although it's got ABS. It's also got hill hold assist. By the way, that is there for the AGS model, and the AGS model happens to be the most efficient one. I think around half a kilometer per liter more efficient than the manual. So Maruti is really tuning their automatics to be more efficient. That's actually a good thing. It also gets UV cut glass to cut the UV rays inside the cabin, although because it's so hot, you can't really make out if there's actually any difference in the positive way that can be felt inside this car. Now we're going to come to a corner, which means that let me just try and push it as hard and fast so we get into second gear. The top end beyond 5000 RPM is really nice, but you know what? It just does not support hard cornering. It just doesn't feel comfortable, and like I was telling you, the tires, the lag that grip, okay, it just kind of feels nervous if you try to push it hard, but then this is not a car for the same. Rather get a Swift, and like again we're going to brake on a nice surface. I don't know what ABS is doing, but it makes a lot of sound. Revving the motor. Okay, wheel spin on second gear shift, okay, upshift to second. It has a 37-liter fuel tank, which is honestly kind of on the smaller side. Now, it has got a stop-start system, rather start-start system, which kind of works nicely. It smoothly shuts off the car. When it turns it on, you can hear and feel it. Although the engine is refined, you get to know that the car is being turned on. But you know what? This smart hybrid system had 3 features. One was torque assist, which is obviously not there here. Regenerative braking, which is not there here. And then the start-stop system, which is there here. Basically, the thing is that smart hybrid would be really nice because there's no diesel on offer. Because it would obviously improve the fuel efficiency near to diesel levels. Not exactly, but still somewhere close. However, the good news is that Maruti Suzuki will be launching a CNG variant of the Baleno in the future, and I think that would be a boon. Now in Latin NCAP it scored 0 stars in terms of safety, but I think it will fare way better here. I mean, with the updated body shell and stuff like that. We have reached a dead end, which is a nice opportunity to actually try something which I always love to do, which is turn the car. Yeah, this is kind of easy because the tires have absolutely no grip on offer, but you know what, everyone's interested in the automatic, so let's start driving the automatic. Now I can tell you, automatic obviously brings in the convenience. They've ditched the CVT in the interest of fuel efficiency, no, but in the interest of cost actually. So we have got an AMT here, which has been worked upon a lot, but check this out, okay. The steering wheel actually centers. Wow, what a revolution. I mean, it doesn't center as fast as other cars, but yes, somehow I find the steering wheel centering faster in the manual versions of the Baleno, but in the automatic, it's kind of taking its own sweet time. Now, this car is meant for easy going driving. It's very convenient with the automatic, and of course, it's got hill hold and I mean, it's just for convenience, period. End of story. If you want the convenience of an automatic, then only get this, otherwise don't, because you can feel every shift happening, and that AMT-ness will never ever go in an AMT box because the AMT has its issues of having that jerky shift, which has been kind of reduced to a certain extent here because they've worked on the gearbox a lot, and over time obviously they've smoothened things out, but still, you know, get hard into the throttle and then you realize that issue with the AMT is that it just doesn't feel comfortable with spirited driving, and that's a bit of a bane rather, and you can hear that downshift also happened. Not bad. Okay, let's get into manual mode straight away and let's see how does it perform. Okay, now in manual mode I'll have to shift myself because it's not going to give me a downshift as such, and then like mid-range is kind of weak, so it's not really pulling strongly here. Becomes vocal, yeah. I don't know if it's a nice way or not. You guys can hear the engine tell me is it nice or is it not. Anyways, so basically you pay only 58,000 more for the AMT version when compared to the manual, so that premium is very less, and that's the reason why they have ditched the CVT for cost-effective reasons. In fact, the fuel efficiency is improved by 3.5 kilometers per liter with the AMT when compared to the CVT, but the CVT was offered with a different engine, which happened to be the 83 horsepower engine. Now this is the 90 horsepower engine, so I don't know why they're not doing an apples to apples comparison, because they're saying it's 15% more efficient. In fact, they're saying that the manual is 6% more efficient, but again, not an apples to apples comparison because obviously, you know it, the engine is only changed. Anyways, we're going to come to a halt here quickly. Traction control is off, and let's see how does this launch. So we're going to get into manual mode, into first gear, revving the motor, doesn't rev, only idling, stop unavailable, and off we go. It holds onto a gear. It will not upshift unless and until I decide to do so. So that's amazing. Come on, other car makers, learn this. Maruti does not allow shifts in manual mode automatically for an AMT gearbox, and you guys offer torque converters and all, and still the car upshifts when it feels like. That's kind of rude. Here in second gear, it will almost reach 100 kilometers per hour. It actually reaches 92 kilometers per hour. Now the thing is, it's slower by almost 1 second, actually more than 1 second when compared to the manual, because there is that lag between shifts, and then you don't hurry up the car, then you will feel fine about it. You try to push it hard, and then when you realize the jerkiness of the shifts, and then you can obviously feel the bounciness as well. But kudos to Maruti Suzuki for actually updating the Baleno so drastically, considering they are already the leaders in the segment in terms of market share, and the Baleno is unmatched in terms of volumes and obviously in terms of the petrol engine as well, because no other rival offers such a good naturally aspirated petrol engine. And Honda, to bhol hi jao, they don't even have a turbo, but Tata Altroz as well as the Hyundai i20 come with a turbo petrol engine option as well, and that's a little disappointing that Maruti Suzuki has not yet offered us a turbocharged engine. not yet would be the wrong term here, because they had actually offered the Baleno RS with the booster jet engine, but now they've decided to remove it and just focus on offering us only one engine in the Baleno. That's kind of disappointing. Now, if you don't want this car with the same engine and you want something different, well, you can get a Toyota badge version of this car with the same engine actually. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, let's come to a halt. Don't know why the brakes don't inspire confidence. Guys, keep an eye on this, okay? When I start moving and it's still there for lower speeds and then it shuts off, and then I can actually get into the camera view. It shows me the side view. Okay, we are in manual mode, will not make a shift. Now there's 7 variants of the Baleno on offer. Oh my god, I can see this view, which is kind of nice, but this is black. Why? Anyways, so 7 variants on offer. This is the top spec, which is priced at 11.15 lakhs on road Mumbai. The range actually starts from 7.51 lakhs, and the other model which I vlogged on earlier in this video, which is the top end manual, that's priced at around 10.6 lakhs on somewhere around that, 10.58 lakhs on road Mumbai. So yeah, it is on the pricier side for a hatchback, but then they're offering a lot of features to kind of justify the premium here, and they also offer 2 accessory packages. Anyways guys, this is my vlog of the Maruti Baleno. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. You can feel that, jerk on shifts. This is the Involve Citron Gel, and if you want to buy it, make sure to click here on the top right to get yours with a 10% discount using coupon code FASTBEAM. It's a wonderful perfume. You'll really make your car smell very fresh as well, just like this new Baleno, which is not going to remain new once I pull the handbrake like this. It just flipped and turned, and this lady is telling me handbrake is up. Obviously it's up because I pulled it dodo. And you know what, if stuff is up, it also shows me here in the display, and it tells me voice commands, please release the parking brake. How do I go rallying with you? You're just such a spoil sport. Bye bye.